Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I am your humble host, David Null, also known as Hawkeye Two Feathers. And as always, I greet you with the love and the honor of the infinite Creator. And may you receive and accept the blessings from the infinite Creator and from the universe. Now, this is I very seldom, rarely, if ever, do a video to a person, for a person, but I think this is important enough for me to make this video. There are many of us out there in the community who have heard of Dante and have heard of the YouTube channel DS AHK. Now, it's not my place to try to reference any of these videos or explain them or anything. That is not my intent, nor is it my purpose. I would ask you, though, to please go to DSAHK. It's in the title, just as it says, and that you look over the videos that Dante has put up, and you make the decision for yourself. There is a lot of information that's being hidden. And for those of you who have subscribed or watched my channel, I would like for you to understand that Marie, blessings to you back again. Yes, this seems to be a topic I need to discuss. The angels are asking me and prompting me to do so. So here I am back again at 5 in the morning, 5:08 a.m. in Eastern Daylight Time here in the United States in South Georgia. So with that, I'll continue on. And I'm hoping that someone will forward this to Dante. And this is a message to all those who understand what the 72 means. Now, for the life of me, do I fully understand it? 7 p.m. there, blessings. Sun's about to come up. It's overcast as heck here in South Georgia. Anyway, I digress. It's not my place to try to explain or whatever about Dante. I've been watching Dante for many, many, many years. Years ago, I sent him an email or two, and it was back, I think, when he was recruiting for the 72. And I realized I found that part of what I wrote, or I think I sent to him a couple of months ago, and I read it, and I thought, you know what? If I had received this, I would have hit delete right away, because this person who wrote this their brains are scrambled. Well, to the point, though, honestly, back then, my brains were scrambled. But it has been through the help of watching the videos from Dante and many other people. But there are many things that I've understood, being that I was raised Catholic, and the information in my previous videos about that, my, the skullduggery of 4 priests and what they did to me. The fact that Sister Helene in 1970 taught me that Jesus and things in the Bible and about the Vatican, she told me things about that. I'm not going to go into those. I'm here to say that in watching Dante for all of these years, his last video, I felt his frustration, and I don't know how else to explain it other than there are lots of people out here who are sharing Dante's message. We discuss him in chat rooms. We discuss him in the videos that he puts out. I haven't done any videos discussing Dante's videos because I simply don't feel qualified. He has more information, but I have to admit, from my part, that many of the things that I have watched, seen, understood, they hit home to me. They hit me in my heart. And when I was 11 years old, I was visited by Mother Mary. I've talked about this in previous videos that I've done. In subsequent times over the years, I have been visited by Mother Mary. And by a couple of years ago, back when I was trying to get in touch, or I sent an email to Dante, blubbering some kind of nonsense I just can't believe. But in having so much information and so much willingness inside, it came out as a bunch of babble crabble. Now, if I were looking for someone to be on my team, I would have said, that guy's nuts. And I would agree. But there are some of us, and I'm not saying that I should be a part of the 72, not what I'm trying to explain. Good morning, Dave B. Morning to you, wherever you may be, and blessings to you and yours. But in this, that what I have understood over the last many years of watching Dante, there are many silent 72s, Dante. I hope you watch this. There are many of us out here who support you, who believe in you. We don't understand. And the fact that you give us videos and the fact that you are willing to share, I know how frustrating it must be for you, because there are people who say they're committed to things and then you turn around and then they don't support you any longer. Something happens and they're just not there. And I understand that there are many of us, we surely don't understand what Dante does. What you do, Dante, I'm speaking to you directly now and to the universe. And I want you to know that there is a lot of us out here who support you. We support you in whatever way and fashion we can, and because of who we are. I am full believe in Christ. I'm full believe in much of what's been told in that, you know, the Christ, the Christus. I'm with you there. And there are so many things that I have understood. And after watching a video from Dante, from you, my friend, if you watch this, it put things in a proper perspective that nothing else fit. And your explanation and what you've shown is like, oh my God, after all of these years, you finally give us information and that makes sense to me. And the patterns and things that I have seen and I have experienced, my messages from Mother Mary, and the things that have been shown to me. And I mean, you know, all I can say is I've had full-fledged visits from Mother Mary, and whether anybody wishes to believe me or not is beside the point. I know what I saw. I know what I felt. I know what's in my heart. And I know that there are things, Dante, that you have shown. I hope you will continue to show those of us silent 72 plus. I make this statement in very matter-of-factly. I know of 20 people, and through different conversations and chats and things, and that's just a very basic. And we are folks who believe in what you do and what you represent, Dante, and that all that we can say to you, and as somebody that needs to speak up and tell you, we may not qualify 100%, but what we do and what we believe, what we carry in our hearts, the prayers in our hearts and our minds, the support that we have for the cause, for the Christus, for the long-term battle. Many of us understand it, and me in my own way, but it relates to what you have to say, Dante. And I'm hoping, and for anyone else who's watching, please go to his channel. I'm not here to try to explain, dissect, or otherwise give my opinion of his videos. Not my place. It is my place to speak up and say there are many of us who are quiet, we're silent, but we're 72 plus strong, and we continue to grow. And this video, I'm hoping, will help to forward the cause. People who are working for the good of humankind. I would give my life for another human being if it really honestly meant that there would make a difference. I have done many things in my life. I've spoken about it. I'm not here to try to prove myself that I'm worthy of anything. If anyone wants, check out my other videos. But my heart is in when I discuss shamanism, I'm trying to leave religion out of things because I'm not qualified as a religious person to discuss the. I have discussed the Bible. In fact, there was a video earlier today that Dante did, and that it was talking about the difference between the King James Version and what's really going on, and some of the words that have been altered. And I've done videos on this years ago because, as a Catholic, our Catholic Bible and my old Catholic Bible does not or did not jive with the King James Version in any way, shape, or form. Things were changed, Psalms were left out, words, things, phrases were changed and altered. The King James Version is much harder to read and understand than the version that King James took his version from. But to that point, I've understood for a long time, but it has been with the help of Dante, DS space AHK on YouTube. And I suggest you just, if you're interested at all, please watch some of his videos. Some of them are going to freak you out, and you're going to go, what the hell is this guy about? And I'm here to tell you, he has the information. And I can speak from my own personal experience with the Catholic Church and other things. I will be 67 in September, so I'm not a young man, but I have been studying things for a long time, and many things that Dante shows, I can kind of go back through my own knowledge, teachings, learnings, things that I've been acquired through my lifetime, and go, you know what? There's a lot more positive things to say about Dante and some of the information in his videos, and that I can't pick one, not going to do that. But in that, it struck a nerve in me that said that feels right to me. That seems like the right information. That I get that. And after watching the signs and the symbols and things that Dante's shown over the years, I too have started noticing them in places and in things, and in some, and I've found what looks very similar in some petroglyphs in Ohio. And I got to go back through my pictures and look back over things. But to the point, though, there's information there that many folks, if they were aware of it and if it were spread more and if people understood. Now, it's hard for me to say that I can come even close to what Dante's speaking to. And Dante, if you watch this, I consider you my friend because I am working for your cause, albeit it may be in a small little corner over here in this small little corner of the world. But my prayers are consistent. My intent is always positive. It's always for the good of the cause. And anytime I can share or discuss it, I will. But I honestly feel I have no authority to speak on Dante's behalf, and I refuse to do so. Now, I may discuss some of his videos in the future. I have shared them. I have tried to allow other people to watch it on their own. I don't feel that I'm qualified to promote Dante, but here I am because there are times when, and we're in a critical time right now, and for many, many, many people, and from now until about 2023 or 2029, something like that, we're in a very hectic time right now in the universe. This is the end times and the beginning times. Everything is hinging on a lot of things right now, and how many of us wake up to the true facts of what's going on, and that we all band together and I've discussed it in my own little way about all of us who think, at least in certain terms, we are part of the league of like-minded beings. It isn't about religion, but it is about spirituality. It's about being honest. It's about having honor. It is not about worship, but it is about adoration. It is about human decency. To me, it is the one rule. There doesn't need to be 10 commandments. There's only one. Do no harm to any human being, to anything, to any being, to anything in this universe. And so, with that said, it's important for Dante and for the people in the cause to understand there are a silent minority, majority, however you want to look at it. There are many, many, many of us out here, Dante, who are praying, who are working for the cause. We're working as best we can with the information and the knowledge that we have. For every single video, I know I spoke to two people before I started doing this. And yes, the angels asked me to do this video to tell you and hope that this gets into your hands, to let you know we are serious. Those of us who know what little we know, we are on your side and we're working for you. We're doing everything we possibly can in our small little realms, in our little portions of this planet, but we are working for the cause. We are the silent 72 plus. And Dante, and to all of you who may watch this video, understand this, we're with you. Cheers, Dante. There are more people out here that support you and who wish we had more information. But because of time constraints, it's very difficult. We wish to help with the cause. Many, 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 many of us are all praying for the same thing. We want peace, but we will defend our territory. If there's somebody evil that's being evil, mean, bad, and nasty, we need to take them down. We need to take them out. We need to do whatever needs to be done to stop the pedophiles, to stop the human trafficking, to stop all the crazy crap that's going on this planet. And any of us and many of us are doing what we can to try to stop it, alleviate it, and otherwise pray or send good thoughts into the universe. Whatever it takes, we're doing in our own way. Dante, I hope you watch this and I hope you understand. We may not all qualify for the original 72, but there's a lot of us on the bench over here that we might be 70 or 80% qualified. We may only be 60% qualified, but we are still trying. We are still working for a particular cause. And that cause basically is for the Christus. It is for the cause. It is for this. And Dante, if you stop making videos, what are the rest of us going to do? I implore you, Dante, understand there are many, 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 many of us who need you. Please don't stop making videos. You may think it's not doing any good, but there are a lot of us silent 72 plus that are getting a lot of good information from you. And if you stop giving us the information, then what are we going to do? Because even though we're quiet and back in the background, we can still have an effect. We are that silent 72 plus, Dante. Understand that we are here. We do exist. We don't show up in places and this and that, but there are many of us. If we had more information, we would do the best we can. I would never turn on anyone and I have stated categorically in my videos over the years, I have absolutely, I put down and got on my hands and knees and promised I am a prayer warrior. I have been this way for many years. In many respects, I am a monk. As a hermit living down here in the swamps. Well, it's dry right now. There is no water, um, but in that I spend my days in meditation and prayer and communication with nature and what I consider the God, the source and everything. And my continued prayers are for peace upon this planet and in the universe, not just here, but that the evil, that we can stop these crazy bastards from, doing any more harm. But the biggest reason, Dante, I'm making this video, you must understand, you are making a difference. You may not be getting the results that you would like. In your last video, you stated that, you you thought that this thing with the internet failed. I would like for you to reconsider the fact that maybe you haven't failed. Maybe rather than getting a good strong 72, you've got a silent 72 plus that is probably a lot more enormous than you may actually realize. And I'm just trying to be a spokesperson for the silent, whoever we are, and let you know, to let other people know, listen, we are in this league of like-minded beings. We want peace. We want to bring honor to each other. These are our core values. Many of us believe this in our hearts. Now, what that has to do with the Charistus and what that has to do with the cause, in my opinion, our cause is very similar, if not very parallel, or quite frankly, the same as what the Charistas have for this planet. Because I know I've seen so many things in the sky just around Georgia. I've had UFOs, I chased one into Florida. I've seen one get blowed up out of the sky damn near over my head several years ago. I've seen pieces of spaceship come flying through the sky in the middle of the night down here. I've seen these things and, and tried to take video and stuff of it, but I've reported on it here from South Georgia. So many of the things that Dante has discussed, I've witnessed myself, and beings of other realities and things. I've taken pictures of these things. Now, I've not taken pictures of some of these evil things that Dante has, but I have been able to show that my understanding of other realities, other realms, other possibilities. There are some people say, well, orbs can't exist and therefore aliens can't exist. I mean, they close their mind up. I did a video earlier about some of these things, and people think inside a box and everything's in here. And one of the things that I've been trying to tell people for a long time is that, guess what, gang? If you think of a box at all, then you're too constrained. If you think there is a box that we're in, then you don't understand the rest of the universe. There's so much more. And if it's got to be in any kind of a box or whatever, you miss the point. And it's not to be rude, but that it's just fact. So Dante, there are many of us who understand things on a much bigger level. We've been watching Jupiter, for example. I've been watching Saturn. I've done a report about how come Saturn now has 79 moons, lost a few. How do you lose 2 moons around Saturn? I just got to wonder. But those are also what was classified many years ago to me and to others, was that, incoming spacecraft from other worlds were going to be parking around Saturn and Jupiter. Guess what? They're here. I've known it for a long time. A lot of other people, oh, aliens, poo-poo. Listen, I get it. Now, Dante, I do not understand in the way that you do, but we understand the best we can with the information that we have. And Dante, if you continue to provide us with information, we will continue to understand more. Things will become more clearer to those of us who are struggling to understand. We see things, we hear things, we have feelings, we have dreams, and we don't know what this stuff means. And sometimes your videos fit what needs to be said or done, or explain something that's like, I didn't know that, or holy cow, I always wondered, and now there's some clarification. So I didn't think I was going to last 25 minutes into this, but I've been yapping a pretty good bit right now, and I think anything more would just kind of just be moot at this point. But Dante, I hope this reaches you one way or the other, through the angels, through the cosmos, through the quantum. Maybe somebody will send this to you, share it with you. I want you to know that whether you know me or not, I consider you my brother. I consider you my brother in spirit. And somehow I feel like I've been on the battlefield with you in a previous life. I can't confirm it, don't know. And I'm not trying to say, ooh, look how good I am. No, I just feel like at some point I have done battle, that I have stood and battled these foes. Maybe it wasn't Dante, maybe it was another entity, but I have felt that there were certain parts of time in time. I just feel like I was there. And no king, no nothing. I'm just a warrior. Not saying I was an angel or any kind of reincarnation of anything, but I know that in my heart that I have been fighting this fight for many generations through many reincarnations. I'm here this time. I was told at age 11 that I was going to be marked for this, and that Mother Mary would come to me and tell me when it was time for me to start talking about things like this. And several years ago, I started doing YouTube videos. And part of it was because I had watched Dante. And I realized that Mother Mary had come to me for a reason at the age of 11. And she came back and visited me right over there in my house and said, now's the time, Hawkeye, you need to start talking to people about spirituality, about the real truths in this, on this planet, in the universe. There's so much more that people just seriously aren't paying attention to. And Dante, I implore you, I beseech you, I beg you, please. You don't have to do 2 or 3 videos a week, but please keep us in the loop. Please help us understand the things that are sketchy to us. How can we be better people, beings? How can we be better 72ers, if you will, if we don't have enough information? It's sketchy to me at best in times. And then I see some things and I watch the videos and I go, dang, that makes sense. The goddess factor, the Ishtar, so many things, like Mother Mary for me. I've always put Mother Mary, people say, oh, well, you're praying on the rosary and all this stuff. Listen, well, you're worshiping Mary. No, I adore Mary. She is the mother. She is the goddess feature. Listen, we need a good mother. Sometimes we need a spanking. Sometimes we need to get, drugged by our ear. And sometimes we just need to sit down and listen to motherly advice. And maybe war isn't the best answer, but sometimes it is. And even the mother will say, I got a thing here. We need to defend our home, but, let's all be careful here with what we do. But to the point, though, Mother Mary has always been on my side. She's always given me the best advice. And it's been my fault that I haven't followed it. I'm tuned into my own spirit guide that I call angelic. I've always talked about my guardian angel and the things that have happened over the years that had literally saved my life. So my belief is much deeper than a lot of other people that I know. Not to say that I'm better. In my own understanding of the universe, of my God self, of Mother Mary, of the things that I've seen and been allowed to see, I'm a silent 72er plus. And whether or not I'm ever qualified enough to be a 72, know that my mission here on this planet, this time through, was told to me many years ago. At the age of 3.5, they asked me what I was going to be when I grew up. I told them I was going to be a hermit and live down in the woods on a river. That's exactly what I've been doing for the last almost 40 years. And so my reincarnation, I knew what I was going to do at the age of 3. There you go. So that's my proof. That's my discussion. But Dante, for all of the other people, regardless of what I've prattled on about myself, there are other people who depend on you for your information. Please don't give up on the silent 72 plus. There are many of us out here. We are working for a good cause. Whether or not it's exactly the rules of the cause for the Christus, not the point. The point is, we believe in the Christ. We believe in all these other things. I'm going to repeat myself, and that's not necessary. I've said enough. It's going on 30 minutes. And but please, if anybody watches this who knows how to send this to Dante to get it to him, otherwise share, lock, load, whatever, please do so. He needs to understand it's not about me, but it is about other people. We do depend on his information. And because he doesn't put comments on his videos, I can't express myself. It's okay. I understand why he doesn't allow comments, because there are a lot of nasty, weirdo, blah, 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 blahs. And 5 years ago, I was probably considered one of them. But we all grow. And given the chance, we can grow into better and greater things. Not that I'm a great person. That's not it. But spiritually, I know in my own heart I'm much stronger than I was 2 years ago, 6 months ago, 5 years ago. No comparison. There's so much I have learned in the last 5 years of my life. So if those people who may have been candidates for a 72 were not qualified then, you may need to go back through some of your applicants. There may be someone in the last 5 years who have progressed because of your videos, and that we're at least the second string and the third string and the fourth string. We are the silent 72 plus. And my guardian angel told me to tell you that. So blessings, cheers. I don't know what else to say, Dante, except that there are many of us out here. Many of us out here. And I've got a carving that I've been working on. It looks like this. And that was before I knew who you were, Dante, and knew what this meant. But understand this. This is not a joke. There are many of us who love you and thank you for what you do. So with that, to Miss Marie, to Dave B., keep planting the seeds. I'm going to read over here. I'm trying to really just seriously. I mean, this is for you guys too. But if you haven't watched Dante, you got to give him a shot, because there are things in there that if it hadn't been for watching Dante, I don't think certain things would have clicked for me. I think I'd still be searching for some of that information. And I think it's important that we all just look at all different kinds of venues, all different kinds of information from all different kinds of ways, because how can we learn unless we experience? And if we don't read a book, how are we going to know what's in it? Now, we can read a book and go, that was interesting. Or we can read a book and go, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever read. And, and so it affects each one of us differently. So, but what we can do is share the experiences of the books and of the knowledge that we achieve, read, experience in our own lifetimes. And when we get dreams and visits from our past lives and other reincarnations, then we have that experience as well. So, let me scan down here with y'all. The action require which are much more than words. Absolutely. Cheers. Dave B., how you don't know of Dante? Then in the title you can frogs. Its drive would bring plagues and no frogs to call the numbers. News travels. Did I spell his name right? Dante, D-A-N-T-E. Yes. And I found Dante years ago. He came out with the Russian alien book, and he did a video. He was interviewed on Coast to Coast, I think, and many, many, many years ago. And then Dante had a Dante Centauri. I'm not. Don't quote me on the last name, please. It's early in the morning and my brain is a little fried from trying to get this information out. But to the point, the Russian alien book. Check that out. Look it up. I think there's still a video out there. But that's how I got to find out about Dante. Very interesting. I mean, back in the 40s, during World War II and afterwards, the Russians had pamphlets with different descriptions of like 72 different kinds of aliens. There was a large number, and they had little pamphlets, and they gave them out. And he and his buddy found one of these pamphlets years ago, and his buddy actually got killed when they tried to publish it and bring it out. But there's still copies of it floating around out there. And if you haven't, that's an interesting point right there. And what's interesting is there are other people starting to talk about aliens from that Russian book all those years ago. So, anyway, there are people, there's 12 races out there. Well, how come the Russians knew about like 36 of them or more? I don't know if 72 is the right number. There was a crap load of them. Okay, more than 10, more than 20, more than 30. And they had descriptions, and it was translated. And anyway, but Dante has a lot of other information as well. So it's the way Dave spelled it in the title. Yep. Thank you, David. Blessings. But anyway, I'm not going to prattle on about this because I'm just repeating stuff and other things. But lots of good information if you haven't watched Dante's channel. And I know there's going to be a lot of people who are going to go, man, I think this guy is full of shit, and he's going to blah, 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 blah. But if it doesn't hit you in the heart, then never mind. But the bottom line is, though, wait a minute, though. Sometimes I've given out information that people just think that's crap. But in the long run, my point about some of this is that you have to listen to another point of view. I mean, Plato, all these people, oh man, I can't think of his name now. But anyway, all the old writers and all the old philosophers and that kind of thing, you got to listen, because it stimulates your own thoughts. It stimulates your own mind. It stimulates your own heart and your own soul and your own being. And you got to listen. It doesn't mean you have to say, well, every word is positive, everything is true, everything, but you got to pay attention. You got to listen. You got to read. You got to take in the information. If you only read one book and somebody asks you a question, you go, well, it's in the book. Yeah, but what about all the other billion books? Well, I don't know. I got this one book. That's part of one of my things about, I hate to say it, but Bible thumping Christians, because all they do is quote this one book. They don't talk about anything. It's just this one book with their point of view and their interpretation. And they talk about Jesus like, and it's like, hang on, folk. You're kind of missing the point here. So, and them kind of folk who you quote chapter and verse, but are more sinful than some people who never pick up the Bible. Anyway, it isn't about the book. It's about the information. It's about the collective information. And there are times, and I've discussed this in previous videos, but to bring it up in that, if I see a subject, then what I do is I'll tell my guardian angel, hey, I got this little bit of information. Let me know how true this is. And sometimes I'll get an immediate answer. Sometimes there'll be a news article, there'll be a video pop up, something will come along within the next few, usually within 3 or 4 days, of something that'll give me information to where I can find out more stuff or something here. And I usually look at it in threes. I'll get this news article, somebody will do this, and something mentioned in a chat room. Whatever it is, there'll be 3 signs. And I'll go, And that's their way of telling me that this might be correct. Now, it's not on all things, and sometimes I only get 1 or 2, and that alerts me to go, this may be true. I only have 1 or 2 sources. But in the long run, I listen. And then if it comes back, nah, that's just crazy. Yeah, I wake up with an upset stomach, if you will. There's an old Chinese proverb that says, if you have a problem, if you're going to make a business deal, but it has to do with any kind of problem. So if you have a business deal, or if you have a problem, and if you're going to worry about it overnight, you got to make a decision in the next day or whatever it is, that you take the problem and eat it. then you indulge yourself with the problem. If you wake up in the morning with an upset stomach, don't do it. If you wake up in the morning and your stomach's fine and you feel, that's the old adage of sleep on it. So that's what I do. I got an issue, I got a subject. What do you want me to do? They say, okay, sleep on it. A day or two, let it rest. Information comes back in. Does it make sense or is it crap? That's how it usually comes around. But the thing is that this, if you use this, and there is like special things in threes, for example, and other things. But um, um, from a personal standpoint, I know other people who gets thank you, Marie, affirmation, and that this is actually like, oh, this might be true, or at least the subject is being discussed in other realms, in other places. So, um, what it's affirmation to me, Marie, as you so kindly stated, is that affirms to me, especially in threes, that wow, I must be tuned in to the quantum. I must be tuned into the right channel. The information that I'm getting, seems to be okie dokie. Otherwise, it would come back in negatively. Or, the subject matter, if it's aliens from Jupiter, they would say blah, 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 blah. And I'd get this negative, like, oh, stay away. So the answers come in various forms. Not the subjects must all be positive. If I get one positive and two negatives, that's like, but I have to look at the sources. Anyway, but that's just how I use it for myself. But the thing is that with Dante, to stay on the subject of Dante, that many of the things that I've watched his videos, I've checked into things, and I've done some research, and above all, I've slept on them. And I wake up the next day and I go, there's something about that I just can't say is stupid or whatever. I've got to listen to my guardian angel and say, what about this dude or dudette, depending? And hey, how good is this information? Sleep on it, eat it, see if it gives you a stomach ache. And let me give a little 2 cents about that eating the thing. If I'm feeling regrets about eating the problem, to see if I wake up in the morning with an upset stomach. If I'm like, I don't know if I want to eat this, well, then there's your answer. If you're feeling queasy about, before you even try to digest it, well, I'm going to sleep on this, but you can't go to sleep because of it. Maybe that's like your answer. So when I say I'm going to sleep on it, there are warning signs that will keep me from having indigestion if I pay attention. And it's only through practice and wisdom and years that I learned to go, wait a minute, I'm going to sleep on this. And then about the time I, theoretically speaking, about to put a spoonful of this crap in my mouth, I realize, oh, I'm going to throw up. Oh, no, no, no. And the decision's already made. I don't even have to sleep on it. So after a while with practice, you get to see these things and you go, and then after a while, the things that I used to worry about and the things that used to keep me awake at night, I realize not worth my trouble, not worth my time. I'm worrying about something that is why should I worry for 4 days about something when worrying about it for 20 minutes ain't going to do me any good either? I mean, so in the grand scheme of things. But anyway, I'm rambling, and but I wish to thank you. And Dante, if you ever watch this, just know there are many of us out here that love you for your work, for what you've done, for your kindness to humanity, for standing up for us. And of all things that I know that I'm at least a human being, whether or not I'm a hybrid or not. There's some weird stuff in my body. I don't know how it got there. But to the point, though, I know that I am for the cause. That's a positive. I am for the Charistus. I am positive that I am for the cause. I am positive of that. And with that, my friends, I say cheers and let's keep up the good work. Dante, please don't give up on us. So, with that, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Remember to accept and receive the love and the honor and the prayers from the universe. Accept and receive and share the knowledge. Cheers, Marie, to Dave B, and whoever, somebody else I think is lurking in the background. And anybody who else that watches this, please, please. We are all working for the cause when we want peace in our hearts and peace in this planet and peace in this universe. And it's only because we don't know all of the information that keeps us from participating anymore. So, Dante, please don't give up on us. We love you. So, with that, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And from South Georgia, it's about 74 degrees at 5:52 in the morning, and it's going to be another hot, dry one down here. We need rain down here, and everybody else is flooded. Don't that make a lot of sense? Thanks to you, Dave. Have a good day. Blessings to you and all in the chat. Blessings to you, Dave B, and to everyone who watches this. Keep up the good work. John, I knew there was somebody hiding back there in the background. Blessings to you, John, and good morning to all of you. So thank you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye for now. TTFN, as we say around here.